Welcome back to the Forensics Unplugged channel. Do not forget to hit subscribe. Hit that subscribe. We're doing a mop-up unplugged, a follow-up video, the discussion behind the video on the main channel on Autoglym QuikRefresh, their new rinseless, quick way of lightly cleaning your car in between washes, as it's kind of advertised. Essentially, it's a rinseless wash. If you hear me calling it a waterless wash in this video, that's just my brain. But essentially, it's a rinseless wash because you've got to fill a bucket up with water rather than just like a waterless spray-on wash, okay? Now, first thing, quick correction to the video I did yesterday. Price. I've measured how much liquid I get in the cap of this, and I get around 8 mil, which means 5 capfuls is around 40 mil, which really gives me a cost per wash of £1.20. I said it was about 75p, and I was guessing, so I was inaccurate. So let's correct that. £1.20 a wash, which is a little bit higher. Optimum no rinse, probably the most well-known rinseless wash on the market, costs around £22 for 496 mil, and you also use about 40 mil per 10 litre, which gives you the sort of 250 to 1 ratio, and that costs around 96p a wash. Okay, so it's cheaper. Not as much in it, just correct me on my maths if I've got any of this wrong, roughly. But so Autoglym is about 20% more expensive than the American product. And the American products have to be imported and all that, and it costs a little bit more money, so it's not cheap. Right, that is important. Okay, next thing, I want to talk about your reaction to the video and the reaction to the product. The reaction to the video and the product was pretty negative, I think, really negative. And I think most of that reaction is more to do with waterless wash or rinseless wash. I've said it wrong, there you go. In general, that people don't do it in the UK. We don't tend to have water shortages. We're a very wet country. We have lots of road film on our cars. They get dirty very quickly, and we like, washing them with detergents. So a lot negatively generally. I want to talk about some of those comments. One guy said, "Oh, it's just a con. It's just a business trying to make money." Comments like that, I think, are silly, because I reply back to the gentleman, thank you for commenting, by the way, we all make silly comments. The reason it's silly is because when you go to work, you don't go to work for free. A business has to sell you products. There's nothing wrong with that. So saying, "Oh, they're just making a product to sell you, to make money." Yes, of course they are. They're business. They've got staff to pay. They want to be profitable. That's how businesses work. Nothing wrong with that. So yeah, when you're in your interview for your annual interview where you push for your pay rise, you tell your employers you think you should lower your salary for next year if that's the way you feel about Autoglym, but you won't, will you? You'll be pushing for more money. Okay, the next thing we're talking about was how uncomfortable they were with pushing the sort of dirt layer over the surface of the car with the so you've not removed the dirt. Yes, it feels uncomfortable for me, whether it's Autoglym, whether it's Optimum No Rinse. I do not clean my car like that, okay, no matter what product. I might use O&R, with the big red sponge. You've seen me do a couple of videos where it's just dusty and I want to do that quick refresh type thing because I don't want to wash it with again, and I have used O&R that way, but it's very rare, and I wouldn't even do that on the 1.4 now. I did it on the 140 once. But this is where trust comes in. These products are supposed to work slightly differently. They're not there to break down the dirt. They don't. Even if they tell you O&R, people say, "I spray O&R on my car and then rinse that off." This doesn't work well as a pre-wash, in my opinion. I'll do a video on that. And waterless washes or rinseless washes don't work well as a pre-wash, in my opinion. Okay, because they don't seem to break down the dirt that well, although the product seems to claim that they do. Maybe not the Autoglym one, but whatever, you get what I'm saying. So you have to trust that these products encapsulate that amphoretic surfactants, so the dirt is kind of held in them a little bit more. So yeah, you are moving the dirt around in that solution. That's just part of it. And yeah, the reason I don't do it is because I don't trust it. I just want to get that dirt off contactlessly first, and then clean an already clean car, as you hear me saying, and that works for me. So that's the grinding thing, and I kind of agree with that comment. I don't like feeling that grinding. Lots of people in the comments were saying this product is absolutely pointless, you know, what a waste of time this product is. Not really, guys. So Autoglym and Optimum and other companies sell you waterless washes because there's a demand for it, because not everyone has a house with a garden hose and can go and wash their cars with a pressure washer and 2 buckets. And you know, some people live in flats and they've got an underground car park and there's no running water, so they could fill up a bucket, go down with a waterless wash and just go over their car. So there's a big demand for it. Some parts of the world there's water restrictions. Autoglym are not just a company which sell in the UK. They're in about 40 countries, give or take 100 countries. Made that number, I think it's 40, don't know where I got that from. They're in loads of countries, so their customers have got water restrictions. So when people say something's pointless, you've got to think a company has been selling products for like 50 years or however long Autoglym have been going, 100 years, I don't know. They know the market better than I do, and they certainly know the market better than you do, and they're getting feedback on what their customers want from them. So they obviously think we haven't got a waterless wash, and our rival companies have. So they probably wanted to get a product like this out into their consumer range for a long time to fill that gap. So again, I don't think pointless is fair criticism, but again, thank you for your contribution. It's what it's all about, guys. It's all about churning over the fat, chewing the bones, sucking the bones, chewing the meat. People also don't have lots of space as well. So some people that are not into detailing, you know, I've got like crates of stuff. I've got an overflow shed. Some people want to clean their car with a couple of bottles of product and the least amount of microfiber towels and all that. So the point is, this product does work for lots of people, but not for detailing, and that's why I think there's quite a strong negative reaction. It's not like a detailing friendly thing, especially for the UK market. Yeah, so that's probably the reason for why I think a lot of people don't like it. Now, some things, you know, that I want to be critical on as well. A lot of these products, it's about the vision. The vision. You see the word vision there? Now, QuikRefresh, Autoglym's vision for it is captured in their name for it, QuikRefresh. So they're seeing it as an in-between thing where you can quickly go and wash your car with minimal hassle and minimal fuss. I nearly said minimal fussle and minimal hass. I don't like that vision for it so much. I think they're missing a trick. If you look at O&R, one of the reasons O&R is popular and is like been the main protagonist in the waterless or rinseless wash world is because of the good work done by the great Ivan LaCroix. Ivan, if you're watching, how you doing, buddy? It's been about 5 years since I've spoken to you. I hope you're doing good. Now, Ivan used to work for Optimum No Rinse, doesn't anymore, and would do loads of social media stuff on how you can use O&R and how it can kind of save you money and all the different ways you can use it. And I think the QuikRefresh vision that Autoglym is missing a trick, because this product is also being used at the magic 250-ish to 1 ratio, 256 to 1. So it's probably a similar surfactant. They all seem to operate at that ratio. Okay, so it may be exactly the same surfactant material. Who knows where it's all coming from? You know, detailing companies like Optimum and Autoglym formulate and make their own products, but they're not chemical engineers. They don't make the building blocks for the material. So it might be the same surfactant. Who knows? Now, O&R, the reason I have it is because you can use it as a concentrated clay lube, and it's that waterless wash technology might reduce marring, and it costs me pennies to use it as a clay lube. You can also use it as a detail spray if you want, like with a slightly higher concentration, remove the dust. You can use it as a drying aid, I think. You can use it as a rinseless wash in a bucket. You can use it as a waterless wash in a higher concentration, you know, to spray it on, you know, without a bucket of water. You can use it as an interior cleaner. You can use it as a glass cleaner. I've even seen videos of Ivan going back a few years, using it to clean alloy wheels and stuff like that, and glass. So I think O&R and a washless should be best sold as an all-purpose tool with all these different functions. And if you do that, you'll find that a lot of professionals will get on board, and a lot of professionals have to have a waterless wash for certain situations. And most of the ones I speak to will have some O&R or some waterless wash concentrate because of all of the things I've just said there, and there might be circumstances where they need them. So I think Autoglym could have got their vision a bit better. Okay, and so people said in there, can you use this as a detail spray? Can you clean other things with it? And the truth is, I don't know. I just know what the instructions say. Okay, maybe there's more stuff on Autoglym's socials, but on the bottle here it tells me of clay lube function, you know, all these other functions as well. And finally, guys, the trick they all miss. What are you talking about here? The trick that all these waterless wash companies are missing, or companies releasing this product, is the biggest thing, the biggest selling point is that the waterless wash has this amphoretic surfactant which encapsulates the dirt. Wouldn't it be amazing if you could put a lid full of this into your wash bucket so that if there is dirt still there, it would reduce marring? Now I know with this stuff it's supposed to reduce the foaming action a little bit of your product, but if that's all it does but it's still viable to do and it encapsulates the dirt, that would be a massive selling point, because then it's another reason here on the list. Additive. So it's a wash additive. You chip 4 capfuls in your bucket or whatever, a couple of capfuls, and you're also going to reduce wash related marring. So that's my final conclusions on this talk centered thing on QuikRefresh. The product itself, as far as I can tell, is just as good as O&R. But for it to get the 5-star rating and for me to get rid of the O&R and replace it, then this needs to be better than that, and it needs to have all of these things in here, you know. And then if it's cheaper and it can do all of the other things that I do with the other product, and it's available at my local health foods, then it might be a potential thing that I'll buy. So that's where I am with this. But my view is, with waterless washes, if you use them properly and you don't go really hard and heavy-handed, they can take dirt off the surface. Ooh, what's that? It's a bit of spit. They can take dirt off the surface without scratching it, but you are going to scratch paint more, I believe, even with a waterless wash, when you're contacting that dirt and pressurising it, even with the surfactant, you know, whatever it does. And if you rinse it all off first with a proper detail, you know, proper pre-wash, that's the best thing. I think no one disagrees with that. You know, a proper wash is the best thing. The other thing is that the proper wash, you get so much free cleaning from the pressure washer. You know, like if you take if these are dirty and you're cleaning it with contact only, you've got to literally rub every single area, and every tiny little bit you don't rub, maybe might be a little bit down there, might be underneath that wiper blade there, is dirty. Whereas with the pressure washer and all this flooding it with detergent just gets everything clear, you know, it gets all the dust and grime out of all these gaps, and flooding it with detergent just cleans it. The final analogy, if you've been working all day and you're sweaty and you've got mud, you know, you've been labouring, you've got dirt under your hands, your hair's all greasy with sweat, and if you get into the bath and cover yourself in detergent and, you know, scrub it, scrub your nails, rinse it all off, you'll be all lovely and clean. You can moisturise afterwards. Men still moisturise. If, on the other hand, you do the waterless wash equivalent, you would get like a flannel and you'd cover it in water, or waterless wash solution, and you'd wipe under your armpits, you'd wipe your face, you'd wipe around your neck, you'd get the old hair wiped with the waterless wash and water. At the end of it, you'd look a bit cleaner, but your hair would be all like greasy, or like you'd have to give it the old greasy comb over. You'd still have dirt all in your gaps of your fingers and all that sort of stuff, because you haven't rubbed everywhere, you know, your backside would still be dirty. You get the analogy. So waterless wash by its very nature is quite labour intensive. You've got to make the contact to do the clean. But there's nothing wrong with the Autoglym product in essence, I just think they missed a few tricks with their vision for the product, which I've talked about before. But maybe not, maybe not. It's all speculative, it's all opinion, and what I want you to do is go and put your opinion in there and let me know what you think. Are we going to try, are we going to try more waterless washes? I've already done a comparison of, an O&R is my favourite. Someone was talking about the McKee's 914, saying that's better than O&R. I'm tempted, I don't even know if you can get it in the UK. There's so little interest in waterless wash in the UK. I'm not sure if there's any mileage in a video on that, but maybe when I run out of O&R, maybe I'll use up all of this, but I don't know if I can use this as a clay loo. Then maybe I'll try and get the McKee's afterwards and we can have a look at that. Another thing, isn't it, that did shock me was the price, even of the O&R, 97p a wash. Have I got that correct? Because that's quite high, isn't it? Sounds about right though, doesn't it? 40 mil, so 10 would be 400. So 400 would be, oh no, have I made a mistake there? I think, have I made a mistake on cost? So if you get 40 mil, you'd get roughly 20 washes, and it's £22. So yeah, it'd be just under £1. I think I got that right. That's still really expensive, isn't it? Considering I get 12 litres, 12 litres. I bought 5 litres of 1900 to 1 shampoo for 12 quid. And this, I only use 10 mil per wash, even less. So the cost per wash of this is about 5p. So these waterless washes should really, it'd be nice if they could give you the added value of saving you money over a traditional wash system. But 5p per wash or whatever, £1, £1.20 per wash. So the financials aren't great. And Autoglym have a cheap thing as well. They've got a cheap one of these that does 7p a wash. So there you go. That's it on this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Give me your thoughts as always, and take care, and don't forget to subscribe. See you soon. Final pan and cut.